The Orcinus orca, also known as the orca whale, is one of the most powerful predatory dolphins in the world. Their sleek black body and white patches near their underside and eyes makes them almost unmistakable at first glance. Although found in every ocean, orcas tend to prefer coastal and cooler regions. Being social creatures, orcas tend to hunt in pods consisting of up to 40 members. Based on their lifestyle behaviors, orcas and their pods can be characterized in two categories: resident and transient. Resident orcas live almost predictable lives, migrating from region to region in a relatively predictable pattern. Transient orcas, however, roam larger areas of water with unpredictable locations for appearances. Resident orcas are typically more social as compared to their other counterparts of transient orcas, who tend to form smaller social groups. Overall, they have been observed to eat a variety of organisms. Out of over 140 species observed to be on the dinner plate of these dolphins, the most notable are leatherback sea turtles, dugongs, penguins, and even sharks. However, their diet and hunting patterns vary widely based on their specific category. Resident orcas tend to vocalize loudly, almost frequently while on the hunt. These orcas tend to catch salmon and other small fishes with a technique known as carousel feeding. This is the process of herding schools of fish into a tight ball near the water surface by flashing their bellies and blowing air bubbles. Then, the orcas stun the fish by slapping the ball and gulp mouthfuls of fish. Transient orcas, on the other hand, tend to stay silent while hunting, making the effort to never breach or splash. Since their mammalian prey are able to hear the orcas' vocalizations, transients rely on stealth and surprise to sneak up on their prey. Their nickname, killer whale, is derived from their reputation of being aggressive and almost hateful towards their prey. Weighing on average about 5 to 8,000 pounds and growing up to 32 feet in length, that's almost the size of a school bus. These ferocious hunters are one of the most deadly in the world's open oceans. While on the hunt, they can reach top speeds of 30 miles, 48 kilometers per hour, and chase after prey in an almost toy nature. The first ever orca whale was captured in 1961 by Marine Land on the Pacific in Los Angeles, California. The orca named Wanda attempted to evade capture for a whole day until she was finally captured and placed into a 100 by 50 by 19 foot oval tank. At 8:30 a.m. on 20 November, the whale became violent, and after encircling the tank at great speed and striking her body on several occasions, Marine Land staff wrote, she finally swam into a flume way, convulsed, and expired. Ever since then, over 144 orca whales have been captured from the wild to be placed on public display as an exotic attraction.
This takes us to the controversial case of SeaWorld. SeaWorld is a water park where the laughter of children is all around. It is a place where families crowd around different water tanks, gazing through the glass barrier and into the lives of the exotic sea creatures kept in captivity. The most notorious and controversial aquatic animal, however, is Tilikum. A male orca whale came into the spotlight once he killed multiple people. Captured off the coast of Iceland in 1983, Tilikum was raised in captivity since the age of 2. For the rest of his years, he spent much of his time astounding crowds, mostly at SeaWorld's Orlando location. It wasn't until that daunting day of February 24, 2010, when Tilikum became the bold headlines of many news media worldwide. On that fateful day, Tilikum dragged his long-term trainer, Don Broncho, into the pool and killed her. This, however, was not the first time he was involved in the death of a person. Tilikum killed a trainer in 1991, and additionally a trespasser in 1999. Instead of being labeled as a murder, Tilikum's case brought light to the controversial treatment of aquatic animals at SeaWorld. The overall treatment of these orcas during their period of captivity was absolutely horrible. In a National Geographic article, they explained how Tilikum's transformation from a wild apex predator to the shining star of SeaWorld wasn't smooth. He suffered bullying by other captive whales and stress from being separated from his wild family, according to his trainers. And he had a demanding schedule of training and performances. Additionally, Tilikum and other orca whales were part of captive breeding efforts. According to the People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals, Tilikum sired a total of 21 calves, 11 of which passed away before he himself did. The threat to the orca whale's population is a result of these aquariums exploiting the general population's demand to see these marvelous creatures. Present day, people are now realizing the extent of the treatment of orca whales, in addition to the corporations behind this dangerous operation. Tim Zimmerman, the co-author of the book Blackfish, wrote, "Instead of the iconic happy killer whale celebrated by SeaWorld and its fans for 5 decades, Tilikum demanded the world to confront his reality, Shamu's reality, which involves separation from family, confinement, boredom, chronic disease, aggression among marine park killer whales, and aggression against trainers." Even John Hargrove, author of Beneath the Surface, Killer Whales, SeaWorld, and the Truth Beyond Blackfish, and previously one of the most experienced orca handlers in the world who worked at SeaWorld, said that he saw the psychological and physical trauma that results from captivity. Hargrove even continued on bashing SeaWorld, describing it as a massive corporate entity exploiting the hell out of the whales and the trainers. SeaWorld, however, denies these claims. In an online interview, the Ask Shamu team from SeaWorld states that their entire program is grounded in the philosophy of positive reinforcement and compassionate care. They additionally state that no one loves our whales more than we do. Their health and well-being has always been and will continue to be at the forefront of everything we do. In terms of the animals and trainers, SeaWorld states, there is no higher priority for SeaWorld than the safety of team members and the welfare of our animals. They, however, refuse to comment on the defamation of their company. Additionally, in the wild, the US government labels the orca whales borderline endangered as a result of many human-made resources. These include food loss, fish supplies are drastically lower because of hydroelectric dams and other human encroachments, habitat loss and chemical pollution. Now, organizations such as the Orca Project and Orca Conservancy are bringing light to the controversial topic to the general public. The Orca Project is a small, non-profit organization that is working towards swaying the public's attitude of orca whales. Additionally, their goal is to make the government become more involved in the treatment of marine mammals in captivity through research, investigation, and education. On their official website, the organization states that they are committed to providing the public with a look behind the scenes of the marine mammal captivity/entertainment industry, explore the legal and ethical issues of keeping orcas in captivity, and to keep pressure on our government oversight agencies to enforce and improve animal welfare regulations. The Orca Conservancy is more focused on the treatment of orca whales, in addition to other whales and dolphins in the wild. The organization's people are leaders in safeguarding critical habitats, advocating creative oil spill prevention and response measures, establishing better protocols for the Navy to protect sensitive marine life, and in working with whale watchers and scientists to help create effective new guidelines for sustainable wildlife viewing. Overall, these books and organizations have brought an overall light to horrible treatment of orca whales. From chemically hazardous oil spills to domestic abuse and captivity, these dolphins have suffered to the point of near endangerment. With the help of thoughtful people and more awareness of the controversial topic, we humans can play an important role in helping this marvelous creature live on for generations.